Hello and welcome to this unboxing and flip through of the Agatha All Along Tarot. Now, I was meaning to do this a week ago, but it's been half term and kids be kidding and everything like that. It's kind of my weekly video has slipped a little bit, but better late than never. I got this deck a couple of weeks ago and I was so fortunate enough. My hubby bought this as a little gift for me. I am a massive Marvel fan. I have been most of my life, from watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends from when I was a kid. And I have grown up with everything Marvel. I have a Marvel tarot deck as well in my collection, which is very much a vanity deck. I don't really use it. I just have it in my collection to kind of say I've got all the Marvel stuff. But this one, when I looked at it, I was like, this is going to be such a usable deck because of the way it's structured. And I'm so excited to bust this open and to share this with you, because many a time with like decks that are based on films, TV shows, like intellectual properties, a lot of the time those decks are pip decks where they've thought about the majors but they haven't really considered about the minors, and they're just stakes and swords and daggers or whatever it is. Now this is different. This is a fully illustrated deck, so immediately it's already got like a thumbs up from me. And if you know the show Agatha All Along, and if you know it really well and you're a beginner, it's going to really make sense to you. I think I need to watch this again, and you don't have to, tell me twice to watch something that's Marvel, except for Secret Invasion. We won't talk about that, but I very much want to watch this TV show again, just because then it'll bring much more guidance in terms of the deck. So let's get started. So this is from Insight Edition. So a lot of Insight Editions, excuse me, there's a hair there. My hair's migrating. A lot of Insight Edition decks tend to be the pip style decks. So I'm really pleased that this is fully illustrated. It comes in this really, really nice box. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you on the front who kind of did the artwork and did the booklet for it, which I think crediting the artist is such and I know it's based on an intellectual property, but somebody has had to draw them cards. Somebody has had to complete the guidebook. And I think that's the only negative that I can see. Obviously, they're banking on the Marvel and the Agatha All Along, and the fact that tarot was featured in Agatha All Along, and kind of done in a better way than a lot of TV shows with tarot. Sometimes I watch TV shows with tarot and I absolutely wince and I grit my teeth and I'm like, that's not what it means, and stuff, like when they're kind of pulling out some, really bad cards. An example of that is Craven the Hunter. That was a really, really bad example of tarot, like scaremongering tarot. Like how it gives tarot a bad name. And one of my favourite films is Live and Let Die, and there's an amazing tarot deck in there, but again, it gives that edge that it's something not accessible to people, or it's something where it's dangerous or dicey. Tarot is 78 cards, and these cards can help, give guidance. There's nothing magical or special about them. They're pieces of cardboard. The insight kind of comes from you. So anyway, my little rant about tarot in the movies over. Let's get in. So it's in this box. So it's beautiful with the purple and the black. I love that. I am a big fan of purple and black. So it's got a guidebook. So it's got a pretty decent guidebook here, and it gives you everything you need to. So it gives you, welcome to the coven, tarot basics, reading reversals, understanding the court cards, which again, court cards can be tricky. I do teach tarot, and one of the main things I always make sure is I cover the court cards, because they can be something that is really, really hard. It's got the major arcana there, and it's full colour, and then a little bit small on the writing. My 44-year-old eyes are gonna, you know, need a magnifying glass, but it's there. And then let's see, again, full colour illustration, and you get one page with that. I would have liked to have like a little bit more in terms of the guidebook, and in terms of the story. It does tell you like where in the series the card fits into, so it's a really good way of recapping the whole series, but also linking it in with the tarot. So there's that. And then we've got getting started, we've got tarot spreads. So we've got witch tarot spread, we've got a bigger spread there, and then we've got here about the author. So the author is Andrea Hanna, and then the illustrator is Brittany Horn, which I do think that they need to reference the people who's done it. And it's interesting, this Brittany Horn has worked on Marvel projects like Loki, my favourite. If you know, I've got an obsession with Loki. I always have done, even before I discovered Tom Hiddleston's Loki. I had a little bit of obsession with the God of Mischief. She-Hulk, Spider-Man, No Way Home, another favourite of mine, Miss Marvel, and Agatha All Along. So she's worked with Marvel like properties before, so that's a really, really interesting, you know, thing to go. Because I tend to, with decks, I don't tend to go blindly, oh, it's my favourite movie and there's a tarot deck of it, I'm gonna buy it. It took me a long time to buy the Labyrinth Tarot. My friend Tam Tam will tell you, she was telling me for ages I needed to get it, and it took me a while to get it, because again, just because it's my favourite film doesn't mean that the cards are going to be right for me or everything. I'm so glad I got it, because it's in one of my videos, my most beautiful decks video. And yeah, so when I see these, you know, tarot decks based on film, TV, there's a Wicked one coming up, which I do want. It kind of, I'm a bit of have a hesitation with it, because sometimes it is a bit of a rush job, but I'm really pleased that this has got, I'd say, for a beginner, if you know the TV show, this is going to make it really easy for you to read. Yeah, it's going to make it really easy for you to read. So let's get on with the cards. So again, they come in this beautiful purple and black box. I love purple and black. And then it says, "Seekest thou the road?" There. So the box is really hefty, you know, 2-part box. Don't be fooled, because fakes are usually in a cheap, nasty tuck box. So don't be fooled. I will make a film about, well, make a video about fake decks one day, because it is a massive gripe of mine. So we've got the moon phases here, pretty straightforward. There's nothing to write home about with the backs, but they are, obviously you can't tell whether you've got a you'll have to forgive my nails, they're a bit messed. It won't give any indication whether you've got a reverse or an upright card, so that's good. I do like my decks having the kind of mirrored effect, well, the symmetry effect there. So let's get on to the cards. I'm going to take it down a minute, because I need to cover the first one so I don't get flagged. So we've got, first of all, we've got the Fool. We've got Agatha in the very beginning of the TV show, you know, embarking on the journey, having just woken up to the fact that she's been put in a hex by Wanda, and there might be some spoilers in this for you guys, and she's kind of going off on her adventure. So it's fully embracing the Fool in all the kind of bareness there. So we've got the Fool. Then we've got the Magician. I love how it's very Rider-Waite-Smith friendly in terms of the majors. I love the way that we've got as above, so below. We've got Tommy. Is it Tommy or is it the other? I can't remember the other one. Tommy and... Oh, I can't remember. I'm a Marvel fan and I can't remember. Billy. This is Billy. This is Billy. Right, so we've got Billy there. We've got Billy, one of Wanda's children. If you know the TV show, you'll know how it fits. There. So Wiccan. I'm probably spending too much time on these. And I love how it just links into the characters of the show. We've got the High Priestess there. I love this. I identify with the witch, and I can't remember her name because it's so long since I watched the show. I watched it last year when it was out. I identify with the green-fingered witch. I am a little bit green fingers, likes making things, likes cooking, the kind of like homely witch vibe. So I think if I was anything, I'd be this character on the road. Then we've got the Emperor. Again, I love how they've put like on the shirts the Aries sign and the male symbol there. I love how it's nodded in. We can still get the symbols there. The Hierophant. She's there at her tarot table. The Lovers. We've got Death and we've got Agatha. I love this. Again, this is very inclusive in terms of gender and LGBTQIA+. So I love that. The TV program was anyway. So I love that we've got these female lovers here. Well, Death and Agatha there. The Chariot walking down the road. Strength. The Hermit. Oh, I love this. Like, it gives such a different meaning to it. And if you've seen the show, you'll know like how alone, you know, the character was at that point. Wheel of Fortune. Where will it turn next? Justice. Again, if you know the TV show, you'll be able to pick this kind of the hard decision that was in the TV show up from this image. Hanged Man. Again, a little bugbear. I'd love it to be the Hanged One. I know traditionally it's a Hanged Man, but I'm all for kind of having a bit more of inclusivity in the decks and just calling it the Hanged One like the Tarot of the Abyss does. And I think that's like, it should just be a person. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. She's covered in the everything and hanging by the vines. Then we've got Death, which is your typical Death, which was played by Aubrey Plaza in the TV show. You got Temperance. I love this with the balance and just like all four corners aligning, you know, having to get everything right when you're doing a spell. The Devil. The choices there. The Tower, again, very traditional, but I love how that they've put the lady that was dressing Glinda in the, and it makes sense to the TV show. The Star. Moon. Again, I'd have to, this is quite thick cardstock. It's okay to shuffle, but it's more on the thicker side, more on the kind of cardboardy side, I would say. The Sun. Oh, it's just reminding me of the TV show now, and kind of what happened. Judgment. And then the World. And I like that she's in a like final kind of incarnation there for the world, like things have come full circle. Then we've got we've got the, I don't know whether I've mixed this up. So we've got the king first, and then the queen, love this diva, the knight, and the page, the ace, so then it goes back to the ace, the 2, and it still has your Rider-Waite-Smith imagery in, the 3, I love this idea of the mirror, the 4, the 5, like they've laid all their sticks down and they're just arguing. I love that. 6, 7, and I like how they've kept it in the same episode. Like this is a specific episode with the one, so I like how they've kept it all within a same or similar episode. The 8, the 9, and the 10. I like how this is almost after the person's got the sticks to the village vibe and he's laid them down and he's like, now what? I've carried them all there. So I like how this gives a little bit of a different slant on the readings. Then we've got the King of Swords. So this all links to the Wizard of Oz episode. The Queen. She has to make that harsh decision. The Knight. The page, and then back to the ace, and it's like the yellow brick road. I keep trying to pull to see if there's another card underneath. The 2, 3, very traditional there, and I like that they've put the person at the centre of it. The 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see how this builds upon each other. 8, 9. So it builds into the picture of the episode. 10. Sorry if if you're watching this, you've probably already seen the TV show. Maybe possibly this will bring some spoilers in there. So 10. I loved this episode. It was such a poignant episode for me, being somebody who identifies a lot with Elphaba in Wicked and things. I love how that they've done the kind of Wizard of Oz episode there. Then we're on to Pentacles, King, Queen. So this goes back to episode 1. Knight. Oh no, this is another episode. I was harking back to episode 1 in the mortuary. Page. And then the ace. This is all within the house. 2. Interesting, this is a different depiction. There hasn't got the balance kind of aspect in there. But again, left and right balance, yin and yang. You've got that there. 3, 4, 5. There's a different thing about keeping hold of something. I love that. 4 of Pentacles always gets me. 5. There's a crack there. She's got more pentacles on this side than there is there. 6, 7, 8, 9. I love the dandelion there. Such a kind of flower of like abundance. You think about how dandelions spread like wildfire. It kind of that the idea of abundance and the dandelion really works well together. And then 10, her escaping. And then we go on to cups. So this is the episode, I think one of the earlier episodes with the wine, the king, the queen, the knight, the page, the ace, 2, 3. Love this representation, very RWS. The 4 of cups. I love that, like, you've got the other 2 cups there and she's chucking the other one. Yeah, be interesting where's the other one. Oh, there's one behind it. Yeah, different take on that. 5, that's the 5. Where's the, yeah, the 6. That reminds me of the 7 of cups. That's why I got very, very confused, because this reminds me, this black figure reminds me of the 7 of cups. So I'm going to get really, really confused with the Roman numerals with that. Then the 7, there we go. There's the 7 of cups. No figure in the background or in the forefront. 8. 9. Interesting depiction of the 9 of cups there. I'm going to have to journal and think about that, read the guidebook with it. And then the 10 of cups. All the very happy families. So yeah, it's a bit thicker. It's a bit thicker than usual. But it does shuffle. It does shuffle quite well. It does have a bit of like fling back on it. So it does like bounce back. Let's see how it side by side shuffles. I always get told off for doing this type of shuffle because it bends the cards, but cards are meant to be used. It is a bit harder to shuffle like that, but hopefully I can break it in a little bit more. When I get a new deck, I usually like to mix it up into, I think there's one card that's the wrong way up. I like to mix, and I can see it already. It's the Fool. I like to mix it up into 4s or 5s and then sideways shuffle them together. And I cleanse it before I do that, and then do a good couple of these shuffles in order to go. Now 2 cards seem to have popped out for us, so let's look. Oh, we've got more than. Let's go with the one at the bottom. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles here. So we're looking for that kind of stability, that and then we've got the 9 of Cups there. So kind of emotional fulfillment, emotional satisfaction. We've got the 10 of Pentacles, the retirement. You've got through, you've done the end of the journey, and we've got Judgment and the Sun as well. So if I was like going into a reading with this, my first thoughts is you kind of, this is what you're reaching for. This is the you know, sustainability, this stable, this kind of retirement energy that you're kind of searching for. You've got that emotional fulfillment and emotional fulfillment and emotional like satisfaction. You've gone through the road. You've attained the wisdom through the experience of going through the road. And kind of you're getting into this very stable position. Then we've got the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is about shedding old skin, shedding old habits that no longer serve you, cutting out toxic cycles, moving into the best version of yourself. And I feel like this emotional fulfillment, this wisdom through experience, this kind of your near completion has got you into this judgment where you said, to hell with it, I'm going to do me. I'm going to move forward as me. I'm going to kind of go the way I want to go. And then this is brought in the sun. So the sun is abundant. It's fixed. It's abundance is kind of coming, and this childhood naivety that you need to go and play, go and dance, go and have fun, be silly, kind of embrace the sunlight, do all the things that bring that sense of when you go out and the sun hits your skin and you feel great. Do the things that get that same boost, whether it's dancing around your kitchen, whether it's watching an old kids TV show or film or anything. Do the things that make you happy and feed into that garden. We are all a garden, and if we neglect the garden's going to look rubbish. But if we nurture that garden, that abundance, that happiness is going to come. So that abundance is coming because you're shedding that judgment and you're getting rid of that judgment. Now, that was a little mini reading there for you. I do readings. Link in the bio if you want to check me out. But yeah, without a specific question, that's how I would kind of approach the energy there with these cards. So what do you think of this Agatha All Along Tarot? Let me know in the comments. How do you feel about this? Have you seen the TV show? What do you think? And would you be interested in kind of more tarots like this that are based on kind of your intellectual properties, your TV, film, things like that? Or are you more of a person that just goes for artwork that's not associated with some type of TV show or film? Often I like using these decks because it will trigger my clairvoyance. And I will see things like when reading with the Labyrinth Tarot, I will see things, flashes from the movie that will get me to the message that I need to give. Like I had a flash when I was reading with somebody and I had the fire demons, and it was about not losing your head and, you know, not throwing, you know, not kind of running and bolting. And yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this little walkthrough and review. I'm so excited to get using this in the coming months, reading with this. I'm going to be using this probably up until Christmas, and then I'll have my winter tarot deck, which is already here on the channel. So check that out as well. And I hope you've enjoyed it. And I will see you again soon for another video surrounding my collection. Bye, everyone.